Just as we did when we were in Tadasana, let's begin to slow the breath. Come to a nice, easy, quiet place. And then all together, inhale, bringing hands to heart center, sharing the pranava 3 times. Take a breath in. Om. 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 Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. 3 times the shorter version of the Guru mantra. Take a breath in. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Hrim Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Stay here for a few breaths, eyes closed. Exhale, release. So let's move the body a little bit, especially if some of you just joined us, before we go right into stretching. As we get into position, which will be a neutral tabletop, if you don't have a belt nearby or a long towel that you can use as a yoga belt, go get it now, and I will meet you in neutral tabletop. Again, remember, whether you're on your wrists or shoulders, we're still doing our best to have our shoulders underneath the wrists, hips, over the heels. Oh my God, over the knees. All right, neutral tabletop, cat and cow. As we inhale, bring the toes under, look up, drop the belly, lift the seat bones. The shoulders do nothing. You're always pushing through the shoulders. They're not sinking and moving. As you exhale, reverse the process. Continue. Inhale, looking up. And exhale. Continue the movement. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Stay here, neutral tabletop. Feel how you were just undulating from the shoulders. They were not moving. The spine was just moving around it. As you exhale, child's pose, simply sit back onto your heels. Stretch the shoulders, armpits nice and open. If you can, forehead is on the mat. Don't be afraid to use a prop underneath the forehead, in between the thighs and the knees, or underneath the ankles. Let's hold here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. This is a sequence that we did last week. Inhale up to neutral tabletop. Curl the toes under. Exhale to downward facing dog. First one of the day, so do what you need to do, whether it's moving the ankles, bending the knees, moving the head gently up and down or sideways. Do what you like to do. And then come to stillness. Four, three, two, one. Take a breath in as you exhale. Before we come down to neutral tabletop, bring those shoulders over the wrists, and then continue the exhale. The knees come down, and you're in a perfect neutral tabletop. Exhale again, back to child's pose. In child's pose, you have your focus on the Ajna chakra that's right between the eyebrows. Inhale, come back to neutral tabletop, and you can let go of the focus on the Ajna chakra. Curl the toes under, exhale into downward facing dog. Now bring your focus to your navel. That's the Manipura chakra. Hold a little mental focus right there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming into plank, I want you to first bring your shoulders over your wrists, lower down into plank. Hold here. Focus is still on the Manipura chakra, the navel, but also the second chakra, which is right in between the navel and the pubic bone, Swadhisthana chakra. So that area right there, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the body down to the mat, getting ready for Cobra. Elongate the legs, shoulders behind your ears, shoulder blades towards the spine. It's a very, very slight pelvic tilt so that you feel the pressure of your hip bones or pubic bone into the mat. From here, inhale, simply lift the head, nothing more. Only the head. Inhale again. See if you can lift up a little higher. Inhale again. Release the hands off the floor. They simply float above the mat. Focus is on the heart, Anahata chakra. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5. Don't lose contact with your feet. 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring the hands down, getting ready to inhale into your plank. Ready? Curl the toes under, inhale up to plank. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath in. Exhale, downward facing dog. Focus is on the Manipura chakra right at the navel. Hold there for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shoulders come over the wrists. Exhale down into plank. Focus is right on the second and third chakra. Hold. Remember, that's the area between the navel and then slightly further down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the body down. Get ready for Cobra. You're in position. Inhale up. Release the hands. Focus now on the Anahata chakra at the heart center. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your hands down. Curl the toes under. Inhale up to plank. Switching the focus further down, doing the second and third chakras. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bringing the focus only to the navel chakra, Manipura. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift the weight, shoulders over wrists. Exhale down to plank. Shift the focus further down. Second and third chakras. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release down. Cobra. Inhale up to Cobra. Release the hands. Focus on the heart chakra. 8. Now remember here, we're switching the breath. Feel the ribs laterally expanding. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Curl the toes under. Inhale to plank. Switching the focus. Second and third chakras. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release the body down. Head also comes down. You're resting on your nose or on your forehead. Hands are behind you, palms down. Salabhasana, locust pose. Remember, in this pose, your lips, your nose, your head is always on the mat. It does not lift up. Lifting the right leg up only. Hip bone or pubic bone stays on the mat. Well, I should say that the leg that's not rising up. All right? So hips are squared. As you inhale, lift the right leg up behind you as if someone's pulling the feet, the toes behind you and up. So I don't lose contact actually with either the left or the right hip bone. Do your best to relax the shoulders and neck. Does absolutely nothing here. For 8, 7, 6. So if you're struggling a little bit, really think about this wonderful energy from the glutes all the way through the foot. If someone is lifting up the foot and pulling away from your body, so you're feeling some tension in the lower back and the glutes and the hamstrings. The rest of the body is relaxed. 2, 1, to come out, take a breath. Exhale, very slowly release the right leg down. It's important that you keep both legs squared, meaning that when one leg is up, the other leg is still extended against the mat, but we're doing our best not to allow it to externally rotate in or internally rotate towards the right leg, because then it throws off the squareness of the hips. All right, ready? Left side. So find your left leg, start thinking about activating it. Inhale, lift it up behind you. Bring all your energy to the very, very lower back, the glutes, the hamstrings. Allow this invisible force to just lift the foot up and pull out, up and away. Relax the neck. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To come out, take a breath. Exhale, release down. Bring your hands back into position for a plank. Curl the toes under, inhale up to plank. Bring that focus to the second and third chakra. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath. Exhale, release the body down. Getting ready for Salabhasana, locust pose. Hands are behind us, palms down. Some part of the face is on the mat. Square off the hips. Inhale, left leg comes, right leg comes up. And hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath. Exhale, release down. Hips are nice and squared. Inhale, left leg rises up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a breath. Exhale, release. Bring your hands underneath you for plank. Curl the toes under. Inhale up to plank. Next exhale, push up into downward facing dog. Oh, nice. And hold here. This really helps to lengthen the back. Focus is on the middle chakra at the navel. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shift the weight, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, come all the way down to the mat now. Back into locust pose. Lengthening through the front quads and hip flexors. And as you inhale, bend only the right knee towards the buttocks. Then take your right hand and hold the foot, bringing the heel towards the buttocks. Perhaps you can touch it. Even here, some part of your face is still on the mat, okay? And we're looking down. Take the left hand and let's extend it overhead, palm down. Into a nice stretch here. Now the same thing, let's keep our left leg a little bit active so that the left hip bone is still squared against the mat. Hold here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now to come out, left hand releases and comes down next to your hip, palm down. As you exhale, release the right hand back down to the mat, and then slowly release that right knee so that the right leg is extended down the mat. Opposite side. Inhale, bend the left knee. Take the left hand, grab the foot or ankle, bring the left ankle towards the left buttocks. Make sure you're nice and squared from hips to that extended leg, and then take the right arm, extend it up overhead, palms down, and hold. Now, sometimes in the beginning when we're not quite there, it's very understandable that that left knee and left heel going towards the buttocks is going to be skewed a little bit to the outside or to the inside. Don't worry about that. As you gain lengthening and relaxation, the heel will come right directly in the middle of the left buttock. Don't worry. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To come out, right hand, let's bring it back down to the mat, palms down. Release the left hand down, and then release the left knee. If you haven't done it already, let's widen our legs so that our feet are as wide as the mat. So the knees are also more or less as wide as the mat, because we're going to bend both knees. So you inhale, bend both knees up towards the buttocks, release both hands, and let's bring the heels towards the butt. Now, when we lack some lengthening here, there's a tendency for the hips to rise up and the butt's going to come in the air. That's counterproductive. If you have that phenomena, don't pull your heels as close to your buttocks, because I want the hip bones to remain on the mat. 8, 7. Slow the breath if this is a little challenging for you. Again, if it hurts the knees, then don't bend the knees as much, okay? That just means that we need to work a little bit more on stretching and lengthening. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently release the hands first, palms down, and then exhale, release the knees. Okay, if this was not a challenge for you, bring your legs together, and we're going to repeat it. If this was challenging, keep your legs and knees apart. All right, we're in position, bend the knees, grab the feet, pull them towards your buttocks, keep the hip bones down, and hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. To come out, release the hands down, release the feet. Let's come into neutral tabletop. Thread the needle on the right side. Inhale the right arm up. As you exhale, thread the needle. Hold here. Nice softening of the back. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come up to neutral tabletop, left side. Inhale the left arm up. As you exhale, thread it through. Hold here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale back to neutral tabletop. Exhale, sitting Vajrasana on your heels. All right. There's another fun way to feel and start gauging how lengthened your quads and hip flexors are here in the front. So I'm going to show you. It's just fun to do, but it's a little more pressure on the knee. So you stand up on both your knees. Take your right hand, bend the right knee. Take your right hand right here and just bring it up to your butt. Now, if I'm like this, see how my torso is forward? Of course, I'm not stretching anything in front. I have to make sure that my hips are over my knees, my shoulders are in line when I bring this heel towards the butt. Okay? So the object is to be nice and straight. So go ahead, try the right leg. Now, if there's a lot of pressure on your kneecap, of course, don't do it. It's just kind of fun. Let's hold. I'm using both hands because my wrists are weak, but maybe you can do it with one. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale. Be careful. Don't let your foot flop down and release. Review. You're still in a nice straight line. You shift the weight slightly to the right as you bend the left knee and do it the same thing here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, gently release. You can also make it challenging. Keep your right knee where it is. Release the left knee and bring it in front of you so that you're sort of in position for a lunge. Come into a lunge. Bend the right knee. Grab it. Bring it towards the heel. Or towards the butt, sorry. Again, try not to round the shoulders. Do your best to keep shining the heart and keep in a straight line now for the knee, through the hip, through the shoulder. 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, gently, gently release, especially if your kneecap is hurting. And bring the left knee back, standing on both knees. Shift the weight left, release the right, place the foot in front for a lunge. Once you feel stable, make sure you're stable. Bend that knee, hold on to it, and feel a nice stretch here. So I'm tighter on this side, definitely. So I cannot bring my heel to touch my buttocks and still maintain an openness in my left hip flexor in front. So I'm just doing the best I can. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Be careful. Exhale, release. Come back. Standing on both knees. Exhale, go ahead and sit on your heels. Hands resting lightly on our thighs. Close the eyes. Exhale, open the eyes, find your block or your cushion. We're going to put the block underneath our butt, like this, and sit down. This is another way to open up the quads and the hips. So, in this position, it's more challenging if your knees are together, but what is important is that your feet are to the side. See how they're on each side of my hips? But there's enough room that I can put my thumb in between my heel and my hip. All right? So they're not touching. The heels are not touching the body. If this is challenging to have the knees together, just open them. If this is really simple for you, no big deal, you take the block out and you sit right on your butt. So wherever you are, let's hold this. Lengthen the back, hands resting lightly on the thighs, close the eyes, soft breath. Remember, it's through relaxation that we make progress. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. So if you're on a block and you want to get off and not disturb your hips, take your weight forward, reach back, take the block out, and let's just sit back in Vajrasana. Another way to continually focus on the hip flexors and also all the muscles in the upper leg is first just watch. You sit cross-legged. Now from here we can do fish pose, but we're going to do a supported fish pose. So watch me because I want you to be safe as you go back. You're in a nice cross-legged position. I lean back from my hands to my forearms. All right? I place the block about where my shoulder blades are or my bra strap so that it's comfortable still with my weight on my forearms. I can lean back all the way, rest the head on the mat, and extend the arms out to the side. So it's not quite there for me yet. I have to find a better position. Okay, this is the position you want. All right, so go ahead, come into position. From sitting, you go put the weight to the wrists, to the forearms. Take one hand, figure out where the block should be. For my back, I had to put my block closer to my butt rather than my neck so that I could freely bring the head down, extend the arms out to the side. Now your back may be different and your block might be a little closer to the neck. You just kind of figure it out. So let's hold here. The more advanced versions of this are that you're in Padmasana, lotus pose, or even Vajrasana, which is butterfly pose. So for those of you who have really open hips, and this is not challenging, when we do it a second time, you can change the position of your legs. But let's stay here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. To come out safely, you're going to take the palms down next to your hips. If you need help with the neck, take one hand to your head and help lift the head and tuck the chin. From here, just push up from your forearms and your wrists, and you're nicely back up. All right. If you want to stay in the cross-legged position, simply change so that the bottom leg is now on the top and vice versa. You can also go into lotus pose if that's your thing, or butterfly pose. All right, so we switch legs. Let's go down again. Wrists are behind us, lean back. We're back on our forearms. The block feels in a good position. Exhale, come all the way down carefully. You can always put another smaller cushion underneath your head also. And then extend the arms out to the side, palms up. So we're shining the heart here, very gentle, supported position. And I feel a nice opening through the hip flexors. These poses are really good if you do a lot of running, walking, sitting at a desk. If you're really, really working on core strength and doing a lot of sit-ups and planks and all that kind of stuff, you do tend to tighten the hip flexors, which is nice. We want to strengthen them, but we want them to be supple. So this is a wonderful position to hold to help with that. If you hold a lot of emotional tension and stress, this is a fantastic pose to just get into any time of the day or before you go to bed. And if you couple it with soft breath, you can release some tension. Let's hold 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, to come out, turn the palms down next to your hips. Remember, support the head if needed. Tuck the chin, and then push up. All right, let's come into our Vajrasana once more and see if our hips are a little bit more open. So we sit in Vajrasana. From here, put your hands in front of you, put the weight on your hands, lift the butt off, and then open the feet behind you so that you can sit in between them with enough room of your thumbs in between the heel and the hip. Now remember, this can be done with the block underneath our butt. This can be done with our knees as wide as the mat. What's important here is, see my back? I'm not letting it hunch or get torcido. I want to be nice and straight as I sit here. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, if you like, use the support of your hands to come out. As you inhale, you lift the butt up, shift the feet back underneath you, and you sit in Vajrasana. Okay, if you are using a block underneath your butt, get your second block because we're going to lay down in this position. So you can have a block underneath your butt and then one that's going to hit you more or less around the shoulder blades or the upper ribs like we just did. So first, let's get into position with the legs. Shift your way forward, lift the butt, widen the heels, and then sit in between, whether you're on a block or not. Laying down. Hands come behind us. Keep bringing the weight backwards to your forearms. Then keep coming further down until you're laying on your block. Release the hands out to the side. We're not going to stay here very long. Release the hands down so that your palms are down. You're on your forearms. If you need help, lift the head, tuck it, and come back up. Take your hands for support. Lift the butt up and bring the heels back underneath you. All right. This can be a challenging pose for many reasons. So I'm going to demonstrate it once more using a lot of props. All right, because if you felt a lot of pain in your hip flexors or in your back or your neck, definitely you need the props. So watch. I've got this block underneath my butt. I'm sitting. I'm going to keep my knees wide. My feet are next to my hips, but I can put my thumb in between. I might take a big cushion like this. If you have it, put it behind me. Very carefully, hands, forearms, lay down. So look, I'm about, 6 inches above the ground, which is very different from the first one I did, right? So here I'm still getting a nice stretch in the front, still shining the heart, but it's not so extreme. You can also, let's say you don't have a firm cushion, no worries. Take your block. Instead of on the short side, maybe you want to turn it up and have it a little taller. But be careful when you come back. So I come back onto my forearms. Where is it? And then you got this is a little more tricky. There. Oops. Come back. Here. Now here I can't touch my head. So if I had another cushion, I would put it there. Or I'm just going to come down. But if your knees come up in the air, that's no good. You want them to stay down. So you have to keep doing different adjustments of how to hold this. All right, you want to try it again? Gather your props, whatever you can. So we're sitting in Vajrasana. Hands in front, shift the weight, open up the heels, sit back down. Have some kind of a prop ready for you. You can even put 2 blocks on top of one another if you like, okay? Hands down, forearms down, lay back. And come into position. It does take some setup to get into these positions. It's true. But it's nice. And stay here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Support your head is needed. Tuck the chin. Put the support of the forearms and the wrists as you rise up. Switch the weight. Butt up. Sit on your heels. And you're back in Vajrasana. All right. Take the props away. Let's lay down on our back. Knees to chest. Roll from side to side. I'll meet you there. So a lot of times in yoga, we put a lot of focus on stretching the hamstrings, but we forget about the front of the body. And we hold a lot of tension in those hip flexors. All right, let's come to the center in stillness. Again, focusing on the hip flexors, take your hands, hold the left knee. As you exhale, extend the right leg down. As your right leg comes into position, just check that your hips are still squared. That means that both hip points are pointing up and they're level with one another. That may mean that for some of you, your knee is very close to your chest, but your left hip is higher than your right. So if you can't adjust that, you may have to lessen the angle of your left knee just a little bit to make sure they're square. Hold here. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Using a pelvic tilt, let's raise the right leg all together. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract, feel the tilt, and then just raise the right leg up. Bend the right knee, extend the left leg. Again, on an exhale with control, go ahead, exhale, and release the left leg back down the mat. Check that your hips are square. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, One. Exhale, release the right leg down. Okay, if you do me a favor, everybody sit up and look at your screen. And the reason why I want to explain this is because I'm not there in person. But when we do Matsyasana or fish pose, which again is a wonderful lengthening through the front of the body, if you have arthritis, slip disc, bulging disc in the neck, you don't want to do the fish pose. But what you can do, and I'm going to show you, is simply do what we've done before, is where you put the block underneath the upper and middle chest, lay back like this, make sure your neck is comfortable, and I'm getting a nice opening throughout the body, okay? That is a wonderful option. If you can do the fish pose, I'm going to walk through it, because just like in the bridge, we're taking the weight right here in the middle and upper chest to open up. So when my head is back on the mat, there's very, very little weight on the head. If you do not yet have the strength to lift up through the back and hold yourself up, then let's build on that first before you do an unsupported fish pose. Supported fish pose is with the block, and it's a great option. This is how you come into fish pose correctly and safely. I lay down first. Hands, palms down underneath my butt. Point the toes. Really feel some connection now in the bottom limbs. As I inhale, I'm going to lift the torso up and keep my weight on my forearms. Now my hands, I can't bend my wrist to go underneath my butt, but you can. Here, I can see my toes. I have put a little tension in my thighs. Watch what I do now. See how I just lifted the chest, shine the heart? In this position, point the toes again. Exhale, release the head back until it comes in contact. There's weight on the forearms, and I'm really, really pushing through the rib cage and shining the heart. My head is super light. I'm not letting go of the tension by pointing my toes. This is a fish pose. To come out, lift the head, tuck the chin, keep your weight on your forearms as you sit up. Never lose tension of the bottom leg, because that's part of your stability. All right, so if you would like to use the block, I think you know how. Go ahead and get into position. If you want to do the fish pose with me, let's walk it through together. You're laying down, palms are underneath your butt, thumbs are touching. Point the toes. Introduce some tension into those lower limbs. As you inhale, tuck the chin, lift the torso up. So you're looking at your toes, your weight is on your hands and forearms. Inhale, shine the heart. Lift the chest up from the rib cage. As you exhale, very slowly, gently bring the head down to the mat. Keep the tension through the rib cage and on the forearms. Head is super light. Point the toes. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to show you another way to come out. If you're in the fish pose and you're not in a supported position, all you have to do is widen your elbows, tuck your chin, and you lay down flat on the mat. If you're in a supported position, go ahead, release the block. Let's lay down, everyone, on the mat. Floating the knees towards the chest. Take a breath in. Exhale, contract, tilt, float the knees towards the chest. Inhale, hands to knees. Exhale, knees to chest. Roll from side to side. All together, let's come to the center in stillness. As you baby pose, open the knees a little bit, hands come inside, grab your big toes if you can, and open up to a straddle with the knees bent. And again, you can roll from side to side or just stay here. On your next exhale, extend the knees into a full straddle. All together, take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the legs together, still facing the sky. That's your exhale. Inhale, open up to straddle. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. Leave the legs exactly where they are. As you exhale, release the hands down to the mat, palms down next to the hips. Exhale again, simply bend the knees. Exhale again, keep the knees bent. Drop the feet below the buttocks. Feet are flat on the mat. In this position, find your arms and inhale the arms up towards the sky. And now behind you. Palms are up behind your head. Hold here. Again, moving the arms. As you exhale, extend the arms out to the side, palms up, like we usually do when we do a spinal twist. Putting our legs into eagle position or Garuda Asana. Keep your right leg exactly where it is. Left leg, knee is bent. Simply lift the left leg off the mat. Cross over, so it's like you're sitting with your knees crossed. And now if you can, see if you can take that left foot underneath the right shin. If not, the right foot will simply be beside the right shin. In this position, spinal twist to the right. Take a breath in. As you exhale, roll over to the right. On the right hip, you look to the left. For 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming back to center, take a breath. As you exhale, contract, tilt, roll to center. Release the left knee and foot, and now the left foot is on the mat, left knee is bent. Go ahead, lift up that right foot, cross over at the knees. If you can, right foot comes underneath the left shin. It's sort of like your right big toe is by the left ankle. In this position, take a breath. As you exhale, roll over the left hip, you look to the right. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming back, take a breath in. Exhale, contract, pelvis, tilt, and come back to center. Release the right foot. Both feet are on the mat below our buttocks. Exhale, extend the knees back down the mat and release the hands a little closer to the hips. And we're in Savasana. Let's hold here. Oh, unfortunately, time has run away with us, so let's all come out of our Savasana. Take a quick observation of your breath. Still take your time and bring movement back to the toes, feet and ankles, fingers, wrists, hands, elbows, knees, hips, spine and shoulders. Let the head gently rock from side to side. All together, let's exhale, roll over to your right hand side. And then with the support of your hands, on an exhale, sit up. Find that comfortable, steady, seated position. Inhale, hands to heart center. Sharing the pranava one time. Take a breath in. Om. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Exhale and bow down to the teacher within. And inhale, come back up. Open your eyes, full awareness, namaste. Thank you, everybody. We did some new positions today. So if you have any questions, you can ask me now, or you can send me an email if you had any concerns about some of the positions that we did today. If not,